Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 3 of building a Hunger Games Darkride / land in Theme Park Tycoon 2 Roblox. So today we are going to be focusing on not only this backdrop area for President Snow's house, which we built in the last episode, but we are also going to be building and starting this station, an actual ride for, well, not actual ride, I just built the station, but we're going to be building the station to the Hunger Games ride, which is pretty much the training arena from the first few films. It's pretty scaled back because I did hit some learning curves while building it, which I will discuss while I build it. Right now you can see I'm just adding this little bit of forced perspective to this building so I can really get it looking tall. And in real life, they use this in the studio parks over in Orlando. They have these cardboard cutouts of the actual like New York skyline right in the back, and it looks pretty convincing. So that's kind of the idea I'm putting in here. There's going to be 2 other buildings on the either side of this one, which are a little bit more 3D, which you'll see me building right now. Now in the last episode I actually had Nicole Rocks MV5HX comment, "That's me," and yes, that was you, and you'll be in this video again. You'll see a lot of people join me throughout when I build, and I never do this, but I actually do have a Patreon, and I'm gonna plug it right now. I have a Patreon, and I'm doing some good promotions right now. If you want extra content that's early, you can have more of a say in what I do in my videos. The link will be in the description below if you're interested. Whew, you can hear my computer start to burn. When I do these voiceovers, I have to like turn off all my fans, make it as quiet as possible, and I feel like, you know, it works sometimes. I'm just copying over this building to the left side because I don't have the time to, I really didn't have time to play here. I want to get straight into building that station for the ride, which we're gonna start in just a second. Just stay patient with me. But I was gone for the last 2 weeks due to me being, one, sick with the flu, but also I am a student. I do online school, so I had to get some work done. You can see I'm just finishing up the top of these buildings. I'm adding a little bit of back support so it can look a little bit more realistic from the parking lot. You can kind of see all the buildings are pretty much the same, but that is accurate to what it looks like in the movies. I'm just checking it out here, making sure everything looks good, and we jump straight into building the station. I already got a little bit of the station done, just the shaping of the station and as well as the continuous walkway, kind of the boring stuff that no one really wants to see. But the type of ride style I'm going to be using is the inverted power coaster. I don't think that's what it's called in real life, but there's actually none of it, this style of coaster, in the States, in the USA. This is only across the sea into the unknown. Remember the unknown from Willy Wonka? The Willy Wonka London thing? No one knows that? Okay. The unknown? Okay. That was just me? Okay. Let me know if you want to ride of that, but yeah, this ride system pretty much is a roller coaster, and it can do and it face anywhere I want it to. So I thought that was perfect for the Hunger Games. I thought that we could get some really cool action scenes with this coaster, and there's not really a name for it right now. So right now I have the Hunger Games Strike Fire, but I don't think that's gonna be the name for it. I would love for one of you guys to come up with a name and comment down below, because I always read the comments and you could get a shout out like Nicole Rocks did in the video. Now I'm pretty much going to be destroying all the progress I had, because I've decided to make everything in its own park file so I can save space on the Nicos Studios park file. Sorry if it sounded like I went all country there. File. So yeah, I just want to save space on the park file, and hopefully this will help. So in the next episode you'll see what I mean when I pretty much start a whole new park, just so I can make their own sound stages for the rides that I'm going to be building in the future. Especially the dark rides, because if you didn't know, The Last of Us Darkride is in the same park as I'm building right now. and that takes up a lot of space itself. Family Guy Land takes up a lot of space, and Motor-Mania, and everything just takes up space. So hopefully I'm going to be able to fit a lot more into this single park file now that I'm choosing to do this. So now I'm just adding all of the wall details that you'll see coming up. I kind of add this nice little tile texture. I think this is pretty new. I'm pretty sure they added this in one of the earlier updates, which is a very good update. I think they should be adding a lot, and they being Dennis, I think they should add more textures to the game, which they're delivering. So I'm just adding this nice little wall detail, and I will recolor the tiles like you see there, just to make it different from one another, from every wall, so it just doesn't look repetitive. Because if you have something that looks repetitive, it doesn't look that natural or organic, I guess. Organic's a good word. So we're just going to continue this all around the room here. And you can see that there's a little room in the wall there that is for the game makers and VIPs who rate Katniss Everdeen in the first movie, where she then, if spoiler alert, she doesn't really catch their attention, but then she does when she shot an apple through the pig's apple. She shot a, okay, that, I just butchered that sentence. She shot a arrow through the apple that the pig was holding in its mouth. That sounds right, yeah. So now we're just gonna add a little detail that is kind of framing this room. It's just some, futuristic blabber, as I like to call it. Blabber, I don't know. It's just futuristic junk wall decor, just to make it interesting. And this is in the movie, so it's pretty accurate, but not too accurate, because I think it goes underground a little bit. But I can't do that because, like I said, I ran into a lot of hiccups in this build, which has to do with where I build, which is near the boundary of the park at the very bottom. So you'll see that a lot in this video. You'll see that little red text pop up saying no space, or I don't know what it says. It's just annoying, isn't it? But I get why it's there, because in public servers there's up to 6 people in a public server, so it makes sense. You don't want someone's build to linger on yours. So we finish up this little framing there, and there's a little bit at the top that we will do to kind of finish it off. I don't know if we do that now or in a little bit, but geez, talking this much really dries your throat. That's one thing I've learned. Yeah, here we go. We're creating that top trim. It really just kills your throat. So yeah, I gotta take a lot of breaks and drink some water. So if you hear cuts in the audio, please don't judge me. Please judge me. Please judge me, actually. Please. No, don't do that. But yeah, you'll see a lot of people join me. There's another friend. I'm just adding this wall texture. I really want this room. You'll see in the final product, it's very dark and sinister, and you don't see a lot in it. And that's kind of accurate to the movie. There's red lights at the very top, and it's kind of scary. It's a very ominous room. And I think that's what the game makers would design it for. They want you to be kind of scared of, well, not scared of, I guess more intimidated by the ominous red lighting and all them staring at you. But let's talk a little bit about the next episode. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next episode. I kind of came up with a little bit of a rhythm when making these videos, of just one episode I'll kind of do with just working on the land. One episode I'll do something like totally recreating a scene, like President Snow's house, or do something for the Darkride, like what I'm doing right now. But I don't really know. I'm kind of just going with the flow with these videos, kind of just working at my own pace. That's why I'm not really, mad at myself for missing those 2 weeks, because I ultimately want to bring the best, content for you guys, and this is my first time doing videos like these, and your support really means a lot. Speaking of support, thank you for 250 subscribers. Hello, every single one of you is appreciated to the moon and back, for real. I really do appreciate it. But when building the Hunger Games, I'm not clueless. I feel like I made it out to seem like I didn't really know what I was building in the last few episodes, but like I know what I'm doing when it comes to the first few films. Like I haven't watched the newest film, Songbirds. I don't really know what Songbird. I just really wasn't interested in that movie. But I have seen clips. They look good. I just really in love and have nostalgic factor for the old films from the early 2000s. I just really love them. It really wasn't the early 2000s. It was, I think they came out like 2009, 2010, 2011, like around that era. But yeah, we're just kind of adding some of the detail in the line. You can see there is a little platform for this animatronic figure. It's not really animatronic, it's just a statue. But in real life, this would be like an animatronic figure, kind of the person that's explaining the rules of the games. And if you didn't know, the story of the ride is that you are sitting on a drone. Yes, a drone. And you have to capture moments in the game, 4K, real life. You know, I feel like it's just kind of a stunt that the Capitol likes to do with the fans of the Hunger Games, and you would be the fan of the Hunger Game, except obviously something's gonna go wrong in the ride. So I'm very excited to build it. I don't think it's gonna take me that long to build it either. I think I have a pretty solid story planned out, but you know what? I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the story. So you start out and you kind of launch back, like you see it testing there, kind of turns around, so you're facing backwards, and it launches out, and then it turns and does a little S-bend turn towards the news anchor people that they're pretty much the hosts of the actual games in the movies, and you're gonna see two animatronic figures of them. I'm kind of excited to make the avatars for them. I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. But yeah, you can just see me checking out the queue, making sure everything works out. I'm adding in these pillars that are pretty accurate to the movie. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I was telling you about the ride, and then I was going on about these pillars. But yeah, you turn around and you see the game announcers, the news hosts, and they pretty much announce what game this is. I haven't really come up with it. I feel like I should do some research before I actually start writing the story, which is going to be soon. I have to actually start that, like, probably now. Anyways, let's not worry about it. Yeah, we're not going to worry about it. So, I want to make this kind of like a year before Katniss Everdeen's Hunger Games. Like, yeah, like a year, 2 years before. And it's going to be a post-apocalyptic world arena, I think. I don't know. I'm still designing it, and then you launch up after seeing the news anchors, and then you turn around and you see that post-apocalyptic world arena. And I think that would be a cool setting for this 50th Hunger Game, 49th Hunger... I don't know what Hunger Game this is, but I'll find out when I start writing it. I'm making this nice little roof. There's going to be lights kind of in between the squares that I'm making to like just show lighting and everything. And the lighting is a lot in itself, and I kind of cut that all out. I'm sorry, but it really did take me like an hour to get right, because I really wanted to make sure, because the spotlights in the game don't really spotlight how they're supposed to, and they kind of just, you'll see, they kind of just blob the light to a certain area. But I'm looking for like lighting that will reach instead, and it's kind of hard to make that in this game, so I had to add little lightings hidden inside of the railings and everything that I built. But I'm right now adding some props. You can see all the lightings in now. I added this keyboard thing that one of the character uses in the first movie, and then I'm adding this rack of weapons, and I would add more of these racks of weapons, but honestly I don't think it's worth the piece count. It really is just a station. as long as we have one of them, I think that gets the point across. But yeah, I'm adding, I think that's the thing you throw it, spiky, I don't know what it's called. Is it bad that I'm building all these weapons and I don't know what they're called? Maybe I should just educate myself before I'm recording this, but you know what, YOLO. I'm adding this axe thing there, this throwing axe. And honestly, I'm looking at those symbols on the screen, and what are those? What in tarnation are those? Because I would be dead in the first 5 seconds of the Hunger Games. You'd see my face on the screen at the top of the dome, just being like, well, what y'all think was gonna happen? What do you think was gonna happen? Oh, adding in a bow and arrow, just so we can hint at Katniss Everdeen. You don't want to be too specific. You just want to hint it. Just checking out the line there, and you kind of see what I mean by the lighting. I also created the game, that animatronic character. As you can see, she's standing in the middle there, and I'm kind of continuing these hallways here. I will add the seats and everything. That's like the last thing I add, and I actually add these characters. They're like these little mannequin figures that in real life would probably have very, very, very subtle movements. They'd be A1 animatronics, and they would kind of just look around and breathe maybe once, twice, and yeah, that's all they're there for. They're kind of just there to kind of make an ominous setting, to kind of always look like you're always being watched in the Capitol. I add these targets, and then I add them kind of everywhere, and then I make this little rope climbs course, which is actually in the first movie. I'm pretty sure PETA falls off it, and Katniss is like, bro, you gotta do good. You gotta start putting in that work, because these people are gonna kill you. So yeah, that's exactly what she said, actually. Look, word for word, don't look it up, but that's word for word what she said. But yeah, I'm kind of adding in just some support so it looks a little bit more real. And now we are finally starting the interior of the VIP section, and really it's just very basic furniture. I'm literally just adding in single chairs and a double chair with some pillows and some stands so they could put their drinks on, which I will put in just a second. There's those stands, and then I'm gonna put in those drinks right there, and then I add in you can see how dark it is though. It's very ominous. You'll even see in the cinematics in just a second, because unfortunately this video is just about done. Yeah, I think this little station was a success. You can see we have some beautiful shots of that cardboard cutout city, and then we got this beautiful station building. But yeah, thank you for joining me in this video. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.